Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. After dropping the first two games in this series tonight, the Tigers turn to Doug Fister to turn things around. Fister has allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 6 of his last 8 starts. And hopeful of creating more magic here tonight. It's been a good second half for Doug, and it's a great night for baseball here in the Motor City. Fans filing in as we welcome into Comerica Park the A's and Tigers. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers baseball. Mario and Pepper, Rod Allen, glad to have you with us here for Game 2 in the series. Doug Fister goes. His last outing in New York, Rod, was a pretty good, and hopefully more of the same here tonight.
Well, one thing that Doug Fister is going to have to do against this Oakland Athletics lineup, he's going to have to pound that strike zone very early. It's a team that likes to take a lot of pitches early. They've taxed the last couple of starters in that very first inning.
All right, now the middle of the Tigers lineup is pretty potent. We know that. We also know that Prince Fielder is maybe not getting the due he deserves because of what Cabrera has done this year, but boy, he has provided some big-time protection.
You know, this is kind of twofold because every time Miggy goes to the dish, he knows there's a pretty good chance he's not going to get anything to hit. They take the liberty of walking Miggy quite often, but every time they decide to walk Miguel, despite what the numbers are coming into the game, Prince Fielder gives you his best at-bats. This season, the Prince is hitting .353 with 33 RBIs and a .429 on-base average after a Miguel Cabrera walk. And he did it last night after Miguel was walked in the very first inning against Tommy Malone. There was Prince waiting for him with a single and 2 RBIs. So the gist of this is Miggy will take the walk, and because he's taking the walk, Prince is doing some damage.
All right, after a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam studios and join Justin White. But coming up tonight, the weather is gorgeous this evening. Rain stays away, and the Tigers will play Game 3 in this series coming up next. Welcome back to Comerica Park. Tonight it's game 3 in this series featuring the Tigers and the Oakland Athletics. Doug Fister on the mound. The Tigers have dropped the first 2 games in this series. Of course, last night's was shortened because of rain, and so Fister will try and get things turned around now for the Tigers as Coco Crisp stands in to lead things off for the Athletics. Crisp is 3 out of 8 in the series. Doug Fister is ready to go to work. And so are we. Here's the first pitch of tonight's ball game. It's a strike called on Crisp.
Very important for Doug Fister to keep Crisp off the base pass. The first couple of games of this series, he's been on and he scored a run in the very first inning.
Coco batting .257, 45 RBIs this year. I think a pretty good month of August. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's in for a strike as Gary Darling goes up for the right hand. Quickly 0-2 on Crisp.
Already looks like the game plan of the Oakland Athletics is to slow down Doug Fister. And Coco Crisp stepped out of the batter's box after that last pitch for about 5 seconds.
Fister now ready with the 0-2 pitch. Here it is. And a ball inside and low. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Last couple of nights in the very first inning, Sanchez threw 29 pitches. A couple of nights ago, Justin Verlander threw 44. So the Oakland Athletics as a club really see quite a few pitches per at bat and really know how to work a count.
Here's the 1-2 coming home, and that'll bounce in. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And Jackson in center field is shading Coco Crisp a little bit to the second base side of second base, and he's rather shallow. Coco does have some pop. He has 14 homers.
Here's the 2-2 coming home, and it's on the ground, foul down the first base line. Well, that seems to be the organizational philosophy of the Athletics. Take as many pitches as you can, work the opposing pitcher. They lead the American League in walks. Last year they were top 5 as well.
I thought that philosophy had changed. Philosophy, I should say, had changed with the new generation Oakland Athletics, but Bob Melvin said today they're very much conscious of that in the minor leagues.
Here's the 2-2 again, and it's a ball outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Avila's already been hit on the backswing here today. Well, at least it wasn't in the head.
Yeah, that's a step forward, I suppose. So we go from 0-2 to 3-2. Crisp is the leadoff man here for the Athletics, and Fister brings home the full count pitch. Driven high in the air, right center field. Jackson on his horse, still going. He'll get to the warning track to run it down.
That's why Austin Jackson had Crisp shaded exactly where he was, allowed him to get to that baseball. And here's where Jackson starts off, and then as soon as the ball goes up in the air, he takes a beeline into that right center field gap, and he's able to run it down, coasting the last couple of steps.
Jackson this year has committed just 2 errors and routinely will run balls down in the gap. He had a nice beeline for that one as Crisp is retired. Josh Donaldson will step in now with 1 out. Donaldson in the 2-hole again here tonight. He looks at ball 1. Fister making his 27th start of the year. It's been a good year for Donaldson, an all-star type season. 16 of his 19 homers, though, were hit in the first half. He has slowed considerably in terms of power here in the second half. And he drives this one in the air to center. Jackson is on the move for this one as well. He's not going to get it. All the way to the wall in center field. It's a 2-base hit for Josh Donaldson. 27th double of the season.
And Donaldson hit a couple of balls right on the screws in last night's game and gets himself a fastball here that Fister tried to get outside, and Donaldson stayed with it very nicely, hit that ball over Jackson's head in center field.
Early scoring opportunity for the Athletics, and in each of the first 2 games they scored 2 runs in the first inning. Ball 1 inside. Jed Lowry batting .287. He's knocked in 54 this year, and right now enjoying a 9-game hitting streak, which is a career high for Lowry. Here's the 1-0. High fly ball, foul, back out of play. Back into the seats on another warm evening here in the Motor City. 82 degrees our game time temperature. Here are the numbers on that 9-game streak that Lowry is currently enjoying. 361. The 1-1 pitch. Soft line drive is short, but it's cut off at third by Cabrera, and there are 2 gone with the runner holding. Here's the rest of the Athletics lineup brought to you by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. You saw Chris Donaldson and Lowry. Moss, Cespedes, and Barton in the middle. Callaspo is the DH tonight. Sogard is out at second, and Kurt Suzuki, the former A, is back in an Oakland uniform, batting 9th. Numbers on Doug Fister, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And it really doesn't take you very long to figure out whether Doug's going to be on top of his game or not. He throws tons of ground balls. The Oakland Athletics have been able to elevate 3 baseballs, so Doug needs to work down south of the knees.
Brandon Moss will step in with 2 outs. No score. The Athletics with a double here. Trying to get him in. Donaldson at second base. Moss hit what turned out to be the game-winning home run in last night's ball game, an opposite field homer.
You don't see many left-handers go in that direction into the opposing team's bullpen, but that's exactly what Moss did last night against Verlander.
Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and nothing comes of the 2-base hit by Donaldson. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Here come the Tigers. In a scoreless ball game, and the Tigers starting lineup is presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. For the Tigers this evening, Jackson, Hunter, Cabrera, your top 3. Fielder, Martinez, Dirks in the middle of the Tigers lineup. Omar playing second base, Avila catching, and Jose Iglesias is batting 9th and playing shortstop. They are facing the right-handed offerings of Dan Straley.
And July 9th is the last time the rookie right-hander Straley won a big league ball game. He has a fastball that will touch 91 miles an hour. He also has a curveball, slider, and a changeup. He throws his fastball most, and slider would be the next best pitch.
So Jackson, the first man to face him. Austin batting .271, was 1 for 5 as he looks at a strike call. 1 for 5 in the series, that is, for AJ. He's hit safely now in 8 of his last 9. He's also scored a couple of runs. Straley missing outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 5th stint this year for Straley. Talk about up and down between Oakland and Sacramento, their AAA team. Done it quite a bit. Bouncing ball to second. Sogard gobbles it up. 1 away.
Let's take a look at the rest of the Oakland Athletics defensive alignment. Is brought to you by Tim Hortons. Kurt Suzuki, 671 games caught, second most in Oakland Athletics history. You may remember they just got Suzuki back from the Washington Nationals after trading him to Washington last year at the trade deadline.
There is Suzuki. Typically does well against Tigers pitching. There's a strike called on Torrey.
He still should be also familiar with a lot of these pitchers. A lot of these pitchers still here on the Oakland Athletics staff from last year.
Boy, Hunter, you talk about seeing a pitcher well. His numbers against Straley awfully good. 4 for 7, 2 homers. Behind in the count, though, 0-2. And that one missed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, you would think typically when you're trading for a catcher from another organization, there is that little bit of a feeling out process of getting to know the staff. But Suzuki having been here.
Suzuki has also taken the liberty of the pitchers that he didn't know, the ones that weren't here last year when he was here. When he hasn't started, he has simply caught all those guys down in the bullpen. So he's quite familiar with everyone now.
7th major league season for Kurt Suzuki. The 2-2. Hunter takes inside. 3-2 on Torrey. Cabrera waiting on deck. No score. Bottom of the first here at Comerica tonight. Tigers looking for their first win in this series. Right back up the middle into center. That's a base hit. The mastery continues against Straley for Torrey Hunter. 1 out single. That'll bring up Miguel Cabrera.
Looks like the Tigers have the approach that Straley's not going to try to come inside with fastballs against them. Therefore, most guys, at least the first 2, driving the ball back up through the center of the diamond.
So here is Cabrera batting .357. And Miggy's been on base in 30 consecutive games now, which is the longest active streak going. Fouled back out of play. 0-1.
Miggy also had a stretch earlier this year where he had reached base safely in 44 consecutive games.
It's been that kind of year for the Tigers. All-star third baseman, MVP, Triple Crown winner. Now Straley ready with the 0-1. Fouled off. 0-2. When you break down numbers, the number 3 hitter in the opposing lineup is hitting .365 against Dan Straley this year. Typically that is a team's best hitter, the number 3 hitter. And we all know the Tigers have a slightly above average number 3 hitter. But he is behind in the count here. 0-2. We were talking about this before the game, Rod. You were still surprised a little bit last night that they walked Cabrera in the first inning of that game.
I really was. They had a 2-run lead. And they had a couple of runners on base against Tommy Malone, but it was very clear to me that Malone did not want to give Miguel a strike, and it turned out to hurt him. They ended up giving up 2 runs because Prince Fielder drove in a couple.
And while Cabrera wasn't walked intentionally, he had nothing really close to hit. Here's the 1-2. Off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Bob Melvin has gone on record, though. And runners in scoring position, Miguel Cabrera is not going to hit. The Oakland Athletics are trying to get to the postseason, too.
Bob Melvin has done a marvelous job. 215 wins in his 3rd season now here in Oakland. Missed it again. Now the count fills at 3-2. 130 RBIs for Miguel. Fielder waiting on deck.
Torrey Hunter should be on the move. Jim Leyland has enough trust in Miguel Cabrera that he's not going to be struck out by Straley. Therefore, if he hits something on the ground, Oakland will not turn a double play. You also run the risk of, if you do vacate that base and Miguel makes an out. Last year would have been troublesome because you didn't have Victor Martinez behind Prince Fielder if they wanted to walk Prince. But this year, Victor's heated up, so Prince getting a lot of pitches to hit lately.
3-2 runner going, and is driven in the air to right, not deep. Moss now backing up, and he'll make the play, and Hunter back to first base. Ball didn't start very deep, but then it ended up almost to the warning track. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Prince Fielder, who delivered that 2-run single after Cabrera was walked last night. That means Prince now has 90 RBIs this year. Well, he almost assuredly will get to 100 yet again this season. Prince takes a ball high. 1 ball, no strikes. Hunter with a single, and he is still standing at first with 2 gone. Fielder right now currently 5th in the American League with his 90 driven in. Missed it outside, 2-0. Victor Martinez waiting on deck. Tigers in this series as a team are batting .281. Problem is the A's hitting .311 over the first 2 games. Here's the 2-0. That's in for a strike. 2-1. And the A's have been swinging the bat pretty well in this series. They had 12 hits in the first game. They actually had the bases loaded in the 6th inning when the game was called because of rain. Fouled back out of play, and the count goes 2-2 on Prince Fielder. Straley, since his recent recall from AAA Sacramento, has made 7 starts, but he is 0-5 in that stretch. And his ERA is north of 5. It would stand to reason with the offense the Tigers will throw at you that there is a good possibility the Tigers offense could have some success tonight.
Tigers average 5 runs a game as a team.
Here's the 2-2, and it's popped up first base side. Martin will make the catch to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. On to the second we go. By the new quarter pounder BLT using your cell phone. Text Tigers, then a space, and then the player's uniform number to 37338, or vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. On our way to the second here as Yoenis Cespedes leads it off. Cespedes and then Barton and Callaspo. No runs on one hit for both sides, and both teams also stranding a runner. Pfister gave up a double but no damage in that first inning. 1 ball, 1 strike on Cespedes. .225 average this year, and this is one season after he led the team with a .292 average last year. That one sails outside 2-1.
Cespedes made some adjustments last year, second half of the year. And he started taking that breaking ball up the middle. He wasn't swinging and striking out as much as he was the first half of the year. Therefore, that batting average got up to .292. But those issues have come back this season, struggling with that breaking ball away from him.
Well, the A's outfield as a whole really has not hit all that much if you just factor in average. Their outfielders are hitting .223, which is a major league low.
Josh Reddick back on the disabled list with a wrist injury.
It's in the air to center field. Jackson is on the move, and he'll play it on 1 hop. Dropped right in front of him, a leadoff single for Cespedes.
It's a fastball up in the strike zone that he did not necessarily hit that hard. Jackson probably paused momentarily. And then Jackson, great effort here, could not make the play.
Leadoff single here in the second. That'll bring up Derek Barton.
Cespedes only has 7 steals this year, but he does have the ability to steal more bags than that. But it's nearly impossible to run on Doug Pfister. And so we'll see what Bob Melvin's going to do with Cespedes, whether he still has the green light or not.
Barton batting just .179. And in a series, a couple of hits, 7 at bats. He's also knocked in a couple of runs.
Good hit and run count.
And that's in there for a strike. 1-1.
If you're the A's, you know that one thing Doug Pfister is going to do here tonight. He's going to start throwing some ground balls. Most of the balls that the Oakland Athletics have put in play so far today have been airborne. But it won't stay that way.
Pfister's last start was a good one in New York against the Mets. He went 6 1/3, did give up 8 hits, but only 1 run. Soft line drive to left. That's going to drop in. Base hit. A couple of bloopers here for the Athletics.
While we have a moment, let me set the Tigers starting defensive alignment for you this evening. Dirksen left, Jackson in center. Torrey Hunter is in right field. Iglesias and Infante are up the middle. Miggy, Prince on the corners, and Alex Avila catching the 2nd consecutive day since coming back from the 7-day concussion list.
Here is Callaspo with 2 on and nobody out. A's now have 3 hits in the game. And Callaspo bends away from a ball inside. 1-0. 3 hits in the series plus an RBI. He's being used as the DH in this ball game tonight, and Sogard is playing second base. Slap to left field. That's a base hit. Cespedes coming to third. They're going to stop in there. Quick throw back to second, and he just got back in there. Rounding second aggressively was Barton, and he almost got too far down the line.
And Barton must have thought that Mike Gallego, who is the third base coach, was going to send Cespedes home on that ball that was hit like a bullet off of the bat of Callaspo. But you can clearly see that Gallego is holding him up, but Barton was running with his head down.
So it's a bases loaded, nobody out situation here for Pfister in the second. Sogard getting his first start in the series, batting .263. A couple of home runs this year. Sogard made the team after having a really good spring training, but he has struggled lately. In fact, he's hitting just .163 in his last 14 games. Got a chance to drive in some runs, though. Cespedes, Barton, Callaspo. Ball inside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Sogard. Doug really doing what he has done most of his career with the Tigers, pitching really well in the second half. 4-1 following the break this year with an ERA in the low 2s. That's on the inside part of the plate. 1-2. But he's got himself a mess to deal with here in the second. Soft line drive, base hit, right field. Cespedes will score. It's an RBI single for Sogard and 4 consecutive hits for the A's.
Oakland just playing station to station baseball right now. That's going to get Jeff Jones up and to stroll out and talk to Doug Fister and Alex Avila.
They are literally just putting the ball in play right now.
They were 2 strikes, a 74-mile-per-hour breaking ball that was not located all that badly, but because it was only 74 miles an hour, it allowed Sogard to get through it, and not only to get through it, to pull it into right field.
So Fister gets an early visit. Of course, the Tigers didn't get very many innings out of their starters in the first 2 games in the series. Sanchez only 5 innings in game 1. Same for Verlander last night. Here's Kurt Suzuki, returning back to the Athletics on Friday in that deal from the Washington Nationals. Right back up the middle into center field. That's a base hit. Barton scores. He'll stop Callaspo at third base, and it's another base hit for the A's, and that's 5 straight hits.
Doug Fister usually works at the bottom of the zone, but all the hits he's given up so far here today are pitches that have been up in the strike zone. You have to give Oakland some credit. Here are the base hits he's given up. Every last one of them up. Cespedes, that's up. Barton, his was up as well. And then you have Callaspo getting a ball up in the zone. Sogard, not a bad pitch, but he got a base hit, and then you have another ball that's up in the strike zone.
2-0 in favor of the Athletics. They have 6 hits, 5 of them consecutively here in the second, and nobody out. Coco Crisp stands in. He flied out to center field back in the first to start the ball game.
The Oakland Athletics usually take a lot of pitches, but Doug Fister has thrown quite a few strikes. Therefore, they're very aggressive against Fister on the first couple of pitches they see here this evening.
Fister facing a team tonight in which he has had really good numbers against in the past. 2.45 career ERA. Meanwhile, Coco hits one in the air to right field. Shallow. Hunter lines it up, makes the catch. Callaspo tags but heads back. That's a start for Doug. 1 out. Crisp is 0 for 2 in this one. We'll bring up Donaldson. And the ground ball here gets you out of the inning. 2-base hit back in the first for Donaldson. Breaking ball bends in for a strike. 0-1. Donaldson for a while was bumped up to third in the lineup, and Cespedes began to struggle. He is batting second in their lineup tonight. Another breaking ball. This one just missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. A double was stranded in the first by Fister, but he was greeted with 5 straight singles here in the second. That's lifted in the air. Right center field. Hunter backing up on this one. Callaspo tagging. Catch is made. And the throw will come back into third base. Sac fly. RBI for Donaldson. And it's 3-0 Oakland. This is 76th RBI of the year. So the A's doing what they've done in the first 2 games of the series, scoring first. Here is Jed Lowry. Ball 1. Lowry lined out to the third baseman his first time up. Fouled straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. There really is a marked difference tonight, isn't it, Rod? You were talking about the fact that they were so patient the first 2 nights in the series, but Doug has come out kind of pounding the strike zone here, and they've been swinging. Well,
they got an outstanding hitting coach in Chili Davis, who was a switch hitter and a really good hitter. He spent a lot of time in the big leagues, and I'm sure that after Pfister came out throwing lots of strikes, he encouraged his team's second inning. You better be a little bit more aggressive if you don't want to start the count no balls, 1 strike.
And Jim Leland always says the best way to attack a team that loves to work the pitcher is to throw strikes where they have no choice.
And it looks like Pfister's made an adjustment as we look at Chili Davis there with the hat on. Chili had a great career. Went to Dorsey High School in California, same school Sparky Anderson went to.
Ball inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Inglewood, as a matter of fact.
Just looking up some numbers on Chili the other day. I didn't realize he had 350 big league homers.
He sure did. He had a big career. Started with the Giants, spent some time with the Yankees, Twinkies.
2-2 the count. Lowry is the 8th man to bat in this inning. And it's been a long half here for Pfister. They have scored 3 runs on 5 hits. Pulled foul. Ripped back in the seats. Nice play. So Doug now is up to 40. He threw 15 of those in the first inning. And the 2-2. Just off the plate outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Should Lowry reach, Brandon Moss is on deck. And he would be the 9th man to bat in the inning. Runners go, and it's hit in the air. Straightaway center. Jackson is cruising under it, and that will be it for the A's. But they do damage. A's put up a 3 spot. Graphic proof when you look at the top teams in the major leagues in pitches per plate appearance. The A's right now are trailing just 2 other teams.
Well, Tigers have a couple more games here against the A's. Then the Cleveland Indians will come to town. And then the Tigers, when they leave here on Sunday, they head to Boston. So their pitching staff is going to have to be in a strike throwing mood.
Well, right now the Tigers have to get into a hitting mood. They are down by 3. And Dan Straley goes back to the hill facing Martinez, Dirks, and Infante. A's have won the first 2 games in the series, out to a 3-0 lead here tonight. Straley gave up a single in the first to Torrey Hunter, but nothing else. Here's Victor now batting .290. 5 for 7 in the series for Martinez. And he looks to strike 1.
Straley has made 7 starts since the All-Star break, and in 4 of those starts his team did not score a run for him, but they have 3 for him already today, second inning.
One ball, one strike. Rip back up the middle into center. No, Victor's not slowing down.
Tigers have a real nice game plan tonight against Straley. Torrey Hunter hit an absolute seed right back through the box, and outstanding balance here for Victor Martinez. Real stable lower half with a lightning quick bat coming through the strike zone.
So Martinez now with 6 hits in this series. Here is Andy Dirks. Andy's been hot in his last 11. We'll see if he can get something rolling here. Straley now has allowed his 2nd hit. And it's a ball inside, 1-0. Dirks getting the start out in the left field tonight. Jim Leland has rotated Dirks and Kelly and Tuiasosopo. Last night Matt got the start out in left field. And he started game 1. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Straley is 24 years old. He was born in Redlands, California. Played his college ball at Western Oregon University. Wave and a miss. 1-2.
Andy Dirks has been tardy on the last 2 fastballs that Straley has thrown to him. Would not be shocked to see Straley climb the ladder just a little bit higher to see if they can get Andy Dirks to swing through strike 3. Kurt Suzuki, veteran catcher behind the plate for the Oakland Athletics, just reacquired from the Washington Nationals.
Bouncing ball back up the middle. Sogard in the backhand, flips to second 1, and that's a double play. 4-6-3. Didn't even take the ball out of the glove. He just flipped it over to the shortstop Lowry.
A few style points for Sogard here. He had plenty of time to take it out of the glove and get it to the shortstop Lowry with the bare hand, but he decided to maybe get on the highlight show or 2 tonight.
Well, it's all fun and games until you don't make that play.
No doubt. It could be the one on Fox Sports 1.
Here is Omar Infante. Omar takes a strike. He is 1 for 7 in the series. Now the 0-1 pitch. Wave and a miss. 0-2 the count.
And good breaking ball there by Straley. His second best pitch is a slider. He's about 55% with the fastball, 30% with the slider. He'll mix in a changeup and a curveball, but with 2 strikes, he loves that slider, especially to the right-handed batter.
Infante has hit 300 every month with the exception of May. Here's the 0-2. Fouled back out of play, straight back. So the consistency for Omar has been there. Now obviously he did miss a good portion of July with the ankle injury that he suffered right at the beginning of the month in Toronto. 0-2 the count. And the Tigers' second baseman. Missing low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's Avila waiting on deck should Infante reach base here. The 1-2 pitch from Straley. That is popped up foul. And again, this one heads back into the seats. 1-2, the count stays on Omar. Straley made his major league debut last year after leading all of the minor leagues with 190 strikeouts. Finally got the big league call. And did well. He went 2-1 with a good ERA in a handful of starts with the A's. There's a bouncing ball to short, deep in the hole. Lowry, he'll plant, and his throw gets by the first baseman Barton. It'll roll right back to him though, and the Tigers have a 2-out runner.
Lowry's got some range at the shortstop position, but does not have a strong throwing arm. He bounced the ball over to first base and could not get much help from Barton on the other side. Barton is an outstanding defender, but he couldn't help Jed Lowry out there. Should go as a base hit.
That's what I had marked down, but we'll wait and see. 2-out runner for the Tigers. That'll bring up Avila.
If it is an error, it will be the 16th error of the season for Jed Lowry.
Avila looks at ball 1. They're going to call it a base hit. Infield single for Infante. Second hit of the inning for Detroit. Alex batting 196. He's hit 9 homers this year. Came off the concussion list for the Tigers. He'll take a ball inside. 2-0 the count. Talked a little last night about how Avila now wears a much more padded mask behind the plate with thicker bars on the mask. A little bit heavier, but it's not to the point where it bothers him too much.
Avila should get a pretty good 2-0 fastball to hit here. And should he get it, and try to get out in front of it, hit it in the gap somewhere in right center field.
He had a rip, straight back it goes. 2-1.
Fastball a little bit up in the zone, right around the belt buckle. Avila tried to climb the ladder, but he came up empty.
Right at you. Tigers gave up 3 in the top of this inning. 3 runs on 6 hits for the A's. Here's the 2-1. Way inside. 3 balls and 1 strike with Iglesias waiting on deck. Tigers coming off a 3-game sweep with the Mets in New York, dropping the first 2 in this series here at home. They've got the Indians coming in next. Tigers still lead by 5.5 over the Tribe in the Central. Now the 3-1. Bouncing ball back up the middle into center field. Base hit. They'll get the runner to third as Infante moves up, and the runners are at the corners now with 2 outs. Hey, by the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get a free small order of curly fries. Well, the tying run coming to the plate now. The Tigers have put up another hit. And Iglesias stepping in. 1 for 6 in the series for Jose. Three runs, 6 hits for the A's. No runs on 4 hits for the Tigers. Breaking ball is fouled back. No balls, 1 strike on Iglesias. A solid .316 batting average. Iglesias, since putting on a Tigers uniform, hitting at a .276 clip. The 0-1 is bounced to the left side. That'll be a routine play for Donaldson, and that will end the inning. So the Tigers threaten but do not score. They strand a couple, and you're watching Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire. It's a pleasure to welcome in a guy who's making me feel really, really short right now. That would be Andre Drummond, the Pistons forward. And Andre, welcome to the booth. First of all, thanks for stopping by. I know that you got some stuff going on here at the ballpark. We wanted to talk to you a little bit about the upcoming season for the Pistons. But first, how you feeling? I know you missed some time last year. You feeling okay physically?
Feel great. No complaints at all.
Outstanding. Now, this year obviously is, I think, some renewed excitement in terms of what the Pistons are going to do. You've added a couple of players. You got a brand new coach now in Mo Cheeks. How you feeling?
Good, man. Just excited to add Josh. Mo's been great for us so far, and Brandon James, a new addition, has been great as well too. So I think it's going to be a very exciting season this year.
First pitch line to right field by Brandon Moss, and the leadoff man is on for the A's.
When you get a new coach like Maurice Cheeks coming in, how much of the season preparation goes into the offseason? Do you guys have to learn his system in the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the guys have been in town and out of town, but I mean, it's been good, man. He's been really great for us. I mean, he's a guy that played in the league, so he knows what it's like. And, I mean, he's been working with me really well. I work with Rashid as well, too, so it's been great.
Speaking of being in town, have you had a chance to watch many of the Tigers games this year at all?
Honestly, I haven't been in town a lot. I've just been working out, been in and out a little bit. But this is my first time being here since last year. I came and watched the World Series game.
Doug Fister brings it home, and it's grounded foul. We're chatting with Andre Drummond of the Pistons, who's at the ballpark tonight. You've got a Twitter chat going on here in the fourth inning, don't you?
Yeah.
See, you know, the thing that we tend to forget is you're only 20 years old, so you're still just a kid. And you're into the social media, aren't you?
Every now and then.
He says he has a lot of followers, too.
Here's a bouncer to short. Iglesias fires to second one, and the relay not in time. Safe at first base.
You grew up in Connecticut. Understand you played a little bit of baseball. Of course, we know you played some basketball, but surprisingly enough, lacrosse? You played some lacrosse?
Tried it all, man.
Really? How'd that go?
Not too good. I ended up being the manager after a while. They said they didn't want me to get hurt, so they made me quit.
They made you be manager?
Seriously? Yeah, it was fun for me.
All right, well, we'll talk about the USA basketball camp this summer. What was that experience like?
Oh, it was great. Just being out there with Greg Monroe was awesome. having my teammate out there to watch my back, just making sure and pushing me to do better, just work hard every day, and put a good spark in the coach's eye and let them know that we're here for work.
It was a 4-6-3 double play. Quick inning, but it was a good inning. Thanks for stopping by, Andre. Good luck this year. We look forward to watching you play.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Andre Drummond stopping by the booth here today. The Tigers still trailing 3-0. Some of the highlights to the upcoming Pistons schedule, which, by the way, is right around the corner. 80 of the 82 regular season games on Fox Sports Detroit or Plus. Of course, you've got some of the East Powers, the Heat, the Bulls, and the Nets. Opening night, October 30th against Washington. So thanks again to Andre Drummond, who is a delightful young man. And,
tall man, too, 6'10".
He dwarfs over you, and not too many do that.
Man, he's huge.
Or you dwarf compared to him, I should say. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Jackson, who fouls it back out of play. Here's that Twitter info we were talking to Andre about. He'll be taking over Fox Sports Detroit Twitter page. And that's happening right now. Or will happen, I should say, in the 4th inning. So if you want to ask Andre some questions, at Dre_Drummond. There's a ball inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
The Tigers, the hits they have gotten today have been up the middle. Therefore, Straley has taken the liberty of crowding a couple of hitters the last couple of innings with fastballs inside.
Down goes Jackson.
Marvelous job of pitching there, and leadership quality shown by Kurt Suzuki, the catcher, after the fastball inside. Outstanding slider down and away from Austin Jackson to get him to swing at strike 3.
1 out, and that'll bring up Torrey Hunter.
First strikeout of the game for Straley.
Torrey singled in his first at bat, and that's fouled back out of play. Well, we mentioned Straley has been struggling since his most recent call up. So far tonight, he's been able to scatter 4 hits, was helped out by a double play in the second. The 24-year-old out of originally Redlands, California. That's where he was born. That one just missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. I mentioned he went to Western Oregon University, but his dream and wish was to play Division I baseball, but he wasn't getting too many looks. That's driven high in the air to left. Ball hit well, way back, and that ball is gone. Torrey Hunter, number 15, and the Tigers are on the board.
Torrey Hunter said the late, great Turk Kirby Puckett told him that hanging breaking balls are a gift from God, and Boy, did he get a hanging breaking ball there from Straley. And usually when you get those hanging breaking balls to the right-handed batters, that's where they end up at.
3-1 ball game. Second hit of the game now for Torrey. And Cabrera looks at a ball. 66 RBIs as well for the Tigers right fielder. Miggy flied out to right field his first time up and takes another one outside, 2-0.
Oakland starters will give up a few homers.
8 of them now for Torrey since the All-Star break. Two balls, one strike on Miguel. Well, we talked just the other night about Griffin, who gave up 32 this year.
Tommy Malone, who started for them last night, he had given up 23 homers as well. So they serve him up, and they play in a big ballpark too.
Yeah, that's true. Straley has just given up his 15th, 19 for Jared Parker. 2-2 on Miguel Cabrera. Outside, 3-2. There's Fielder waiting on deck. We're in the bottom of the third. The Tigers have gotten on the board here with their 5th hit, the home run by Torrey. Here's the 3-2. Just out of the glove of Suzuki, who could not hold on to strike 3. Anyway, we're talking about Western Oregon as the spot where Straley began his career. He wanted to play D1, but wasn't getting many looks. He was playing summer ball with a couple of guys that went to Marshall University. And he actually ended up there walking on and having quite a career in Marshall and eventually getting drafted. 3-2 is hammered on a line to right field. Ball hit hard, and it is off the wall.
It ought to be against the law to hit a ball that hard the opposite way if you're a right-handed batter.
I think almost took the wall down.
Ridiculous. You can hang some laundry on this line drive. It's a fastball down and in. Mickey gets his hands inside of it. Before he got to first base, the ball was bouncing off the wall in the glove of Moss, their right fielder.
Hit it so hard he had no chance to get to second base on that ball. Back-to-back hits now for Detroit as Straley tries to navigate his way through the middle of the Tigers lineup. So far not without a whole lot of success here in this inning. Ball outside to Prince. Driven in the air to center. Crisp is on the run, still going back to the track, reaches and makes the catch. In left center field, nearly up against the wall. Prince hammered that thing. 2 gone.
2 outstanding center fielders here playing for their respective squads tonight at Comerica Park. Jackson, of course, for the Detroit Tigers, and Coco Crisp, but he really takes a backseat to no one when it comes to playing center field. Prince Fielder thought he may have had one. Coco Crisp off at the crack of the bat and was able to run this one down. He ran a long way to get to that ball.
3 straight hard hit balls in this inning. The home run by Torrey, the single by Cabrera, and now that one from Fielder. 2 outs. And now Victor Martinez. Tell you what, Coco Crisp is having himself quite a series, isn't he?
Coco Crisp is a really good player. And Bob Melvin recognizes that. He's the manager of the Oakland Athletics. When he is healthy and on the field, their team takes on a whole different dynamic with his ability to run the bases, hit for power as a leadoff guy, and he's a great center fielder. They just have to keep him healthy.
Yeah, he's been streaky this year, but he's on one of those good streaks right now. 1 ball, no strikes on Victor Martinez. Play behind Cabrera defensively at first base. They know he's not going anywhere in terms of at least trying to steal a base. There's a strike called. 1-1 on Victor. He had a single back in the second, but then was erased on a double play. And as Victor continues to make his assault toward 300, he's up to 291 now. He's also on pace for 35 doubles and 85 RBIs after a really slow start.
Take one more look at the Miguel Cabrera single off the gate in right field. Ball's inside. He pulls his hands inside and whistles it off the gate, and it left his bat at 103 miles an hour. The highest reading we've seen this year has been 105, and that was just the other day. Miguel Cabrera hit a home run against Daisuke Matsuzaka in New York.
Bouncer right back out the middle, right by Straley into center field.
Straley not fooling anybody, that much is for certain.
Gonna bring up Andy Dirks. So the Tigers now have 2 men on. Tying runs are aboard. Dirks strolling in. Kurt Young out to have a chat with his starting pitcher. Kurt Young went to Saginaw Arthur Hill High School. Local boy, also went to Central Michigan.
Kurt Young is in his second tour of duty as the Oakland Athletics pitching coach. A couple of years ago when Bobby Valentine took over for the Terry Francona in Boston. He went there for 1 year. No, actually, he was there with Francona, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah, he was there that 1 year with Francona. That was the year when everybody was let go. They would have retained Kurt Young, but he was wanting to go back home to Oakland, organization he grew up in.
Here's Andy Dirks. Ball 1 to Dirks. Andy hit into a 4-6-3 double play in his last at bat. Tigers now have 7 hits. Both sides have put up 7 hits in this game already. Now the 1-0 lifted in the air. Center field for Crisp, who is under it, and that's going to take care of the side. However, the Tigers do get on the board. Torrey Hunter goes deep. Solo shot. 3-1 ball game. Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. The home run by Torrey Hunter getting the Tigers on the board. It's now a 3-1. Doug Fister goes back to work and he delivers a strike. Alberto Callaspo leading it off. Callaspo, Sogard, and then Kurt Suzuki. Ball high, 1-1. Callaspo had one of the 5 consecutive singles the Athletics put together back in the second on their way to getting 3 runs in this game. That's popped up. Middle of the infield, Iglesias. 1 out. Time for a game break. We check in with Mickey York. All right, Mick, thanks very much. Tigers coming in with a 5.5 game lead in the American League Central. Cleveland in second place. KC 9.5 back. Here's Eric Sogard. In for a strike. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes.
Doug has had a pretty good curveball here today. And when he has thrown the curveball, he's been able to bounce it. He has not left many breaking balls up in the zone. When he gave up those 5 hits consecutively back in the second inning, and majority on fastballs, majority of those fastballs were up in the strike zone.
1-2. Sogard singled 1 in back in the second, getting his first start in this series. Got him. Strike 3. Sogard caught looking. 2 gone.
Here's today's high-speed stat, and it's brought to you by Charter Internet. And some of the tallest players in the American League on 25-man rosters. You have Pfister, you have Fryman, and you have Andrusik of the Cincinnati Reds, all 3'6'8".
Now with 2 outs, here is Suzuki. Single, backed in a run back in the second. And he'll take a ball outside. 1-0. Suzuki was batting .223 with the Nationals. 3 home runs, 25 RBIs. When the Athletics reacquired him. That's in for a strike. 1-1.
What a disappointing year the Washington Nationals have had.
To say the least. They were supposed to be going to the World Series, but they trail Atlanta by 13 in the National League East. Bouncing ball left side. Cabrera charging. Suzuki is out. 1-2-3 inning for Doug Pfister. Part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Ram trucks now get a great summer deal in a Ram truck at the Ram Summer Clearance Event. And by Kraft individually wrapped sliced cheese, make something amazing. New cool sky tonight. The Tigers and the Athletics playing as we go to the bottom of the fourth. 3-1 in favor of Oakland in this game. And the Tigers got to Straley a little bit in the third, the home run by Hunter, but they stranded a couple of guys. And now it'll be Omar Infante leading it off. Bottom three facing the right-hander Straley. Infante, Avila, and Iglesias. Omar had an infield hit in his first at bat. Second hit of the series for Infante. Ball outside, 2-0 the count. That's in there for a strike. 2-1. Avila waiting his turn on deck. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Strike called on the outer edge. Infante not so sure. 2-2. Omar here in the month of August, 357. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And he walked him. Leadoff man is on. Second time he has reached in this game. Well, this Sunday the Tigers play the Indians at 1:08. It's Kids Day. All kids 14 and under receive a free Tigers back to school binder. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Here's Avila now. He had a single back in the second. And he rips one to first, and they'll get a double play.
Absolutely nothing Omar Infante could do there.
You talk about some rotten luck. That ball was headed to the corner and at least a double for Avila, but it was snagged by Barton.
Nothing Infante could do.
So Avila almost had his second hit of the game. That had 2-bagger written on it. It's good at least to see Alex swinging a hot bat, or at least making good contact there as Iglesias stands in. 1 ball, no strikes. That is the second double play now that the Athletics have turned tonight. One ball, 1 strike. 0 for 1 for Jose Iglesias. He bounced out almost to the third baseman back in the second. Flare down the right field line and go back into the seats. Hey, by the way, here is the Ace Hardware Scott's fan poll question of the game. Who's the best rookie in baseball right now? Is it Jose Iglesias? Is it Will Myers? Is it Jose Fernandez? Or Yasiel Puig? Text ACE, then a space, then A, B, C, or D to 37338. You've got some good choices there.
Yes, you do.
Fernandez kid pitching outstanding baseball down in Miami. Will Myers coming up to Tampa.
More than likely, when the Tigers do head down to Miami for the final 3 games of the year, Fernandez, because he's young, he probably won't be pitching.
Here's a 2-2, and he fought that one off, which is really too bad because apparently this kid's exciting to watch.
Well, you know, these 4 guys must be good. If Matt Harvey didn't make the list, Matt Harvey's injured now, but his numbers spectacular in his rookie season as well.
2-2 on Iglesias. Driven down the left field line. Into the seats it goes. Iglesias traded to the Tigers from the Boston Red Sox. 3-team deal. Jake Peavy went to the Red Sox. Garcia went to the White Sox.
Kurt Suzuki did not like that last hanging breaking ball that Straley threw to Iglesias. So, like a veteran catcher, he gets up to stroll out to the mound to make sure that Straley doesn't make that same mistake again.
Red Sox had a few guys in their minor league system. Iglesias certainly has been one of their better prospects the last couple of years, but they felt he was tradable to get Peavy to help their rotation down the stretch. It's fouled back out of play. 3-2 the count stays. Straley now has thrown 77 pitches and given up just the one run, the homer by Hunter. Again, the 3-2, and he walked him. The 9-pitch at bat for Jose, who gets a base on balls. Second walk in this inning. And it brings the top of the order up Austin Jackson. For 2 tonight for Jackson. Three out of 4 this year for Iglesias in the stolen base column. One ball to no strikes. Tigers as a team this year have just 30 stolen bases. That is it, and by far the lowest mark in the American League. Here's the 1-0. Fouled back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Team with the most steals. Royals 117 swipes. It's 80 now for Straley. Ratio not all that good. Here's the 1-1. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw is into center field. Iglesias gets up and trots to third base. So there's a steal and a need 2.
Iglesias' first steal as a Tiger. And Suzuki really rushed that throw, threw it into center field. Iglesias was on the way up when he saw that ball sail over his head and was able to get to third base without a problem.
Let's see if the Tigers can get him in. 1-2 the count. And it bounces in. Suzuki blocks that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A's got 3 runs in the second. Tigers answered with 1 in the third. That's where we're at right now here in the 4th inning. 3-1. Low, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jackson a strikeout and a ground out in this game. 3-2, a swung on and missed, struck him out. So A.J. whiffs for the second time in this ball game. Tigers strand a runner at third. On top 3-1 in this game as we go to the 5th inning. Torrey with a homer in this game. The Athletics are getting it done at the bottom of their lineup here in this one tonight, 3 for 6, and their offense in the first 3 innings in this series has put up 9 runs, and so they've jumped out to early leads like they did again here tonight, 3 in the second. Here's Coco Crisp. Bender that drops in for a strike on Coco. A couple of fly balls, 0 for 2. Batting .256. And a handful of really nice plays in this series. He pulls that one on the ground. Diving stop, Prince. And he'll get to the bag for the out. Going away.
It's a nice play by Prince Fielder. And Doug Fister would have been there as well had Prince needed to use. And Doug Fister.
One out here in the 5th. Josh Donaldson will step in. Sac fly to drive in a run, plus a double in this game. And a ball inside to Donaldson. Average is way up this year for Donaldson. He hit just .241 last year. It's .293 this year. Ground ball left side in the hole. Iglesias, quick release, and safe. He nearly got him. Could not believe he made it that close.
I mean, how do you get rid of the baseball that quickly?
You talk about a lightning quick release, and Iglesias is begging for it.
He's got fast hands. I mean, you exchange from the glove to the throwing hand and get rid of the baseball that quickly.
Pretty impressive.
Jose thought he had him.
One on, one out. Here's Jed Lowry, and he looks at a ball outside. That'll be the 8th hit of the game now for the Athletics, and the 2nd for Donaldson. Ball inside. 2 balls to no strikes. Well, the A's came in with a record tonight of 74 and 57. Most of their work is, or their good work at least, has come outside of their own division. They're only 19 and 22 against the West. 37 and 17 against everyone else. Texas already has won today, so Oakland free back for the time being. Two balls, no strikes on Jed Lowry. Ripped on the ground into right field, base hit. Donaldson will head to third. He'll get in there standing up. Back-to-back singles now for the A's. And now Oakland with 9 hits. Here comes their cleanup man, Brandon Moss. He had himself a base hit back in the 3rd. Lifted in the air to center field. Jackson on the move, still going back, looking up, reaching off his glove. 1 run is in. That's Donaldson. Lowry comes to 3rd. He will stop there, and Moss will cruise into 2nd. 4-1 Oakland.
Did not think this ball was going to travel as far as it did. Jackson did not either. He got back on it. He reached back over that left shoulder. Ball hit right off the tip of the glove and bounced in. Not sure how they're going to rule it, but we'll see.
The two-base hit for Brandon Moss and an RBI, 4-1, and 10 hits now for Oakland. 14th double of the year for Brandon Moss. Here is Cespedes. Infield in a couple of steps for the Tigers. Cespedes rolls it foul. Well, the A's getting it done tonight. They are 4 for 8 with men in scoring position.
They've been getting it done every game in the series. They came into Detroit on a mission after dropping their series in Baltimore against another really good offensive team before they got here.
There's the line drive to left. Another base hit. That'll get another run in. Dirks charging the ball.
Just about everything that Pfister has thrown today has been up in the zone. He has not gotten many ground ball outs.
Lowry scores on the play. An RBI single for Cespedes. 2 runs in to make it 5-1.
It's a fastball that's up in the zone, just kind of muscled into left field by Cespedes.
Tigers now getting the bullpen working. Jeff Jones on the phone. That's 4 straight hits here in the 5th inning after the leadoff man was retired, and Alvarez is the man warming up. Strike called on Derek Barton. Another hit for Barton today, a single and a run scored. He's also knocked into a double play. In the air, foul ground, third base side. Iglesias sprinting over there along with Cabrera, who makes the catch. Boy, Miggy got there. I didn't think he had a chance.
Well, he took off as soon as the ball went up, and obviously he's not running very well. He was just kind of getting over there as fast as he could. Ball stayed up long enough for him because there's a little wind pushing the ball back into fair territory. And that allowed Miggy to get there and make a nice grab.
Two outs, still 5-1. Here's Callaspo. As a single and a run scored, 11 hits in this game for the A's. Here's a strike. 0-1 the count. Pfister gave up 3 in the 2nd and then nothing until here in the 5th, and he's up to 70 pitches now. One ball, one strike. The A's are now hitting .387 with men in scoring position in this series. And Avila, nice block. Previous 6 games, they were hitting .236. In this series, .361. And the other numbers are up as well. So they've really swung the bats here against good Tigers pitching in this series. I mean, they've faced Sanchez, Verlander, and Pfister.
Overall, Tigers have the best staff in baseball.
But their ERA will go up. 3-1 on Callaspo. Ground ball, base hit out of the reach of Infante. Score another run. Moss comes in, and now it's 6-1. The second hit tonight for Callaspo.
And even when Doug Pfister does get the Oakland Athletics to hit the ball on the ground, they seem to find a hole somewhere, as Callaspo does here on the two-seam fastball that leaks right back over the heart of the plate in 3-1 count.
So a couple of 3-run innings for Oakland in this game. They lead by 5. Here's the 8th man to bat in the inning, Eric Sogard. And he sends a ground ball up the middle into center.
That might be it for Fister.
Cespedes rounding third. They're going to send him home. He will score. Throw to third base. Tag! Got him. That'll end the inning. Sogard gets an RBI hit. Cespedes comes around to score, and it's a big inning for the Athletics. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. Introducing Crowd Goes Wild with Regis Philbin and a cast of former athletes and journalists that'll talk to you about things you won't hear on other shows. Sports talk just got a whole lot more colorful. Crowd Goes Wild, weekdays at 5 on Fox Sports 1. Tigers have some ground to make up now. They're down 7-1. A 4-run 5th inning for the Athletics. Torrey Homer in his last at bat. He'll lead things off. He'll slice this one down the right field line. Long run, and it's up against over the wall, actually. It'll be a ground rule double for Torrey.
Torrey looking to hit for the cycle again here tonight. It's early, too.
31st double of the year for Hunter.
He only needs a triple. He singled his first time up. He played long ball his second time up, and now a double off the bat of Torrey Hunter as he stands on second base.
Kurt Young coming out again. Even though the A's lead 7-1, it's not like Straley's been cruising along here. He's given up 8 hits.
He's not fooling many people.
Some hard hit balls. He's been helped out by a couple double plays. There is some activity now. Jerry Blevins is the left-hander. Dan Otero is the right-hander. Miguel Cabrera comes strolling in. For Cabrera tonight, a single and a fly ball. On base now in 31 consecutive games. Strike call. 0-1 on Miguel, who was on pace this year to hit 52 home runs. The last Tiger to hit 50 or more in a season, Prince Fielder, when he hit 51 back in the 90s. Hank Greenberg's 58 is the most in a single season for Detroit.
Pretty good breaking ball there by Straley. At the bottom of the zone, he got Miguel to swing right over the top of it. It's not the first time Straley has been able to get ahead of Miguel here this evening, but he simply starts to pick on the corners, and the next thing you know, the count is 2-2, and Miguel's seen 4 pitches.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Big strikeout there for Straley. First out of the inning.
We're going to make that our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Miguel Cabrera took the first pitch fastball located beautifully outside on the black at about 90 miles an hour. Then he swung over a couple of breaking balls. Straley expanded the strike zone on the 0-2 pitch. Miggy couldn't hold up on it.
Here is Fielder, who smoked a ball this last time up to left center field. That was run down by Crisp.
Home run in any other ballpark in the major leagues.
1-1 the count on Prince, who's hit 20 homers this year. 90 RBIs. Hunter leading it off with a double here in the 5th inning. Oh, 0-2. Straley last year was the co-minor league pitcher of the year for the Athletics. He was 9-7 down in the minor leagues and had an ERA of under 3. Then he came up, pitched with the A's, was 2-1. Fielder waiting on an 0-2. 1 on, 1 out here in the 5th. Down he goes. So back-to-back strikeouts after the leadoff double. AT&T trivia question tonight. Name the 3 World Series MVPs when the A's won 3 consecutive titles in 72, 73, and 74. Who were the MVPs those years? For the Athletics in the World Series, that is your question. Here's Victor Martinez. 2 more hits for Victor. He's up to 293 now. Single back in the 2nd, single in the 3rd. And a drive in the air to left. Straight at Cespedes. He'll make the play, and that is that. Tigers get a leadoff double with stranded. Club today, Arby's slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Back here at the ballpark where the Tigers are trailing in this one. And it's now 7-1 as we go to the 6th inning.
3rd consecutive game that the Oakland Athletics have been able to get into the middle relief of the Detroit Tigers.
Tigers starting pitching has been hit around here in this series. Sanchez, Verlander, and now Fister tonight. Last time the Tigers gave up 4 runs in 3 straight games. You saw it there as Jose Alvarez checks in now, and a wall-side windows pitching change.
Alvarez pitched on Monday here against the Oakland Athletics.
Kurt Suzuki leads it off. It'll be Suzuki, Crisp, and Donaldson. RBI single back in the second, 1 for 2 for Suzuki. 13 more hits tonight for this Oakland team. Double digits in the first game. Of course, last night's game was shortened because of rain in the 6th inning. There's another base hit. This one goes the other way. A single for Suzuki, who is 2 for 3 tonight. It's going to bring up the top of the order, Coco Crisp. Couple of fly balls and a ground out for Crisp tonight. He's the only Athletic that does not have a hit. He'll get away from Avila, to the backstop it goes. We'll move the runner up. So yet another man in scoring position now for Oakland.
Oakland Athletics tacked 7 earned runs on Doug Fister today, the most as far as earned runs given up this season for Doug Fister, who has been an outstanding second half pitcher since putting on a Tigers uniform.
Pass ball was called on Avila. There's the 1-0 from Alvarez. Bounced foul down the third base line. We'll get back into the seats. 1 ball and 1 strike. Crisp recently was bothered by a bad wrist. He had a cortisone shot and then was given just about a week off. And since he has come back, he has really swung the bat despite his 0 for 3 tonight. That has popped up back out of play. 1-2. Coco, part of the RBI program, reviving baseball in the inner cities. They've had quite a few players come through that program, get to the big leagues. Among them Carl Crawford, James Loney.
The latest, that young kid that was playing center field for the Minnesota Twins when the season began, Aaron Hicks.
CC as well, Sabathia. Another ball back out of play, 1-2 the count.
It's a wonderful thing, and to get baseball revived back in the inner cities, get some scouts to go in there and watch some of the kids play that they normally wouldn't get a chance to watch play. I grew up in California, and when I grew up, I mean, there was baseball all over the inner city. And a lot of scouts always came out to watch those Saturday games.
Bouncing ball deep and short. Iglesias off balance throw on the money. Outstanding play by Jose Iglesias.
And with Coco Crisp running, one thing you know you have to do is get rid of the baseball quickly. He surrounds it. He kind of gets his body turned so he can get something on the throw. And they do nip Coco Crisp right at the wire.
Chest high. Ready Prince. Hit him right in the glove. Here's Donaldson. Of the 14 hits tonight for the A's, 12 of those are singles. In fact, they got 5 straight singles against Fister in the second to plate 3 runs. Donaldson has a double to his credit tonight. He has a single and a sac fly. Two and all the count. Fister goes 5 in this game, which has followed the pattern of the first 2 starters in the series. Sanchez and Verlander each went 5, and now Fister the same tonight. And the 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes.
19 homers for Donaldson. He could very easily have the green light here on this 3-0 fastball if Alvarez decides to throw him one.
Jed Lowry waiting on deck.
Got a beach ball out in center field.
No kidding.
Thought you only see beach balls in Southern California on the baseball field, whether it be Dodger Stadium or the Big A in Anaheim. They still call it the Big A?
Yeah, they do. Well, technically it's Angel Stadium now, but yeah, they still call it the Big A. They've been called so many things over the years. And they finally got that beach ball off the field. Three-0. High fly ball, center field. Jackson over to his left. Runner tagging and coming to third, and the throw cut off. 2 gone.
And Iglesias already made a couple of really nice plays in the game, but last night it was raining. He got a ground ball and literally dried the ball off with his jersey a couple of times before delivering it across the diamond.
We've seen just about everything from Iglesias. Of course, that one play he made at Chicago earlier this year with his feet flying in the air, throwing a guy out. Flying through the air like Superman. There's a strike call to Jed Lowry.
That 3-0 pitch to Donaldson was a good pitch, and indeed he was swinging at it, but what they did was they made him hit the ball to center field. The deepest part of the ballpark, Jackson able to catch the routine fly ball.
1 ball, 1 strike. Alvarez first got to the big leagues this year, filling in for Anibal Sanchez, making a couple of starts. He is now on the big club, being utilized in the bullpen. Phil Koch was sent down. Here's the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Something these two clubs have in common: they have not used very many starting pitchers this year. And Tigers have only used 6 starters this year, fewest in the majors.
In the air to right field. Hunter is on the run. Torrey will not get there, up against the wall. That'll score yet another run for the A's as Suzuki comes in. It's an 8-1 ball game. Boy, the Athletics are swinging the bat in this series. That's 15 hits. It really is amazing what this team is doing offensively to a really good pitching staff.
Well, you got to give them some credit. I mean, they were able to get Tiger starters out of the game. Anibal Sanchez a couple nights ago. They got Verlander out of the game early. They've gotten into the Tigers' middle relief. And Bob Melvin said before the game today that's his team's goal, is to get into the middle relief. It's not the same as getting into a team's back into their bullpen.
They have turned into the swinging A's in this series, that's for sure. 15 hits. Tigers have 8 hits, but they're down by 7 runs.
When the Tigers were going well, even when they didn't get a quality start, they had some relievers come in and kind of slow down the other team, which would allow their offense to catch up. Tigers' offense has not been able to catch up.
He went around. 1-2 on Moss. Moss has had a big game. He's 2 out of 3. When you combine his numbers with Coco Crisp, this duo in the last 9 games has been really good. Moss has 4 homers, 7 RBIs in his last 9. And 4 long balls out of Coco. Two balls, 2 strikes. And Brandon Moss. Cespedes would be next. This game has gotten away from the Tigers here in the middle innings. 4 in the 5th and now 1 in the 6th. Moss with a big home run in last night's game, turned out to be the game winner. It was his 22nd of the season, which establishes a career high for Moss. He's getting some time out in right field with the injury, the wrist injury to Josh Reddick. And the 3-2. High fly ball, right center field. That ball is hit well. It is way back and gone. It's out of here. A 2-run shot for Moss. And he hit that thing a mile. Second home run in the series and number 23 on the year for Moss.
Moss had an idea that Alvarez was not going to challenge him with a fastball on the 3-2 pitch. He threw him an off-speed pitch. It was a breaking ball, and it was on the outside part of the plate, but Moss, with that strength, able to go out and reach it and hit it over the out-of-town scoreboard. That is quite a poke.
Yeah, that's no easy feat.
These swinging A's have rolled into Comerica Park, and they act like they're at home.
5 homers in his last 9 games now for Moss. Ball 1 to Cespedes. 10 runs on 16 hits for Oakland.
You have to go back quite a ways to have 3 consecutive starters go out there and neither have a quality start.
Yeah, that's how good the Tiger staff has been, but they've run into an A's offense that is humming along right now.
Oakland came in here angry.
Most hits in a game for the A's this year is 19. They are 3 short of that. It was against Milwaukee in June. Most runs they've scored in a game is 14. 3 balls, 1 strike on Yoenis Cespedes. More action in the Detroit bullpen. That would be Jeremy Bonderman. Grounded foul.
This much we do know. They look awfully comfortable in that batter's box, and every single guy getting good rips at Tigers pitching.
Hitting coach Chili Davis has to be ecstatic with what he's seen the last 3 nights.
Went down to their clubhouse before the game yesterday and caught up with Chili for quite a while.
Swing and a miss. Down he goes. That'll finally end the inning, but it's another big inning for the A's. They score 3 more. Up their series with the A's. Coverage begins at noon with Tigers Live. Tigers and A's tomorrow right here on Fox Sports Detroit. And that guy right there will get the start. Max Scherzer, and you know what he's going for tomorrow.
Number 20.
He is indeed. Hopefully he'll get it. 19-1. What a start for Maxwell. Here was Andy Dirks to lead it off. Let's see. Tigers to win 20 games before September since 1969. A couple of well-known names on that list. Verlander. You got Mickey Lolich and Denny McLain. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Driven in the air to right field. This will move Moss back, but he'll get there for the out. One away here in the sixth. I am really surprised. I mean, based on the early returns, I thought the Tigers would have gotten Israeli by this time.
Well, I don't know. Oakland has come in here and played with a tremendous amount of intensity. I wouldn't have thought the Tigers would be trailing 2-0 in the series in the third game, looking to go down 3-0, needing Mack to prevent them from getting swept.
And Straley gave up the home run to Hunter in the third, but that's it.
Because his numbers coming in, Straley weren't very good last 6 starts. He hadn't won. The ERA was north of 5. He hadn't won a big league game since July 9th.
And that's why I figured facing this offense, it might be more of the same, but not so. That's into shallow left and caught by the shortstop Lowry.
I think the fact that the Oakland Athletics have taken early leads in the series have allowed their starting pitchers to really go out there and relax.
2-0 in the first game, 2-0 in the second game, and in this contest they led 3-0 early on. Here's Alex Avila. 10 runs, 16 hits tonight for the A's. The Tigers are on 8 hits. Avila cuts and misses 0-1. Alex hit a ball hard his last time up, but lined into a double play to help Straley out.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch. Straley's top fastball has been 93, 74 with his curveball.
Oh, that will go to the backstop. 1 ball and 1 strike. So you see, Straley has been in the 20s in each of the first 4 straight innings, so the Tigers have had their chances. He's hit 100 now. Two and 1 on Avila. Iglesias would be next. Strike called. Straley allowed 6 runs in 3 1/3 in his last start against Baltimore. Fly ball hit well to center field. Coco Crisp on the move. He's catching everything in this series. And the Tigers go 1-2-3 here in the 6th as we go to the 7th. Rensen in the background tonight. 10-1 Oakland. 1 in favor of the Athletics. And the Tigers have made some changes. Now Miguel Cabrera is out of the game. Don Kelly will take over and play third base. Matt Tuiasosopo appearing at first base for just the 16th time in his career. So new corner infielders. The two big guys out of the middle of the lineup are gone now as Alvarez goes back to work. We're in the 7th inning here. Derek Barton will lead it off. 10 runs on 16 A's hits. Tigers a run on 8 hits. Two and 0. Last time the Tigers gave up 10 or more runs in a game, you've got to go back to July the 9th. And they lost 11-4 to Chicago. Off the end of the bat foul. 2-1 the count. Barton has a single, a double play ball, and a pop-up. Everybody in that starting lineup for the A's with at least one hit, with the exception of Coco Crisp. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Sales in for a strike. 2-2 on Derek Barton. Aspo waiting on deck. Bouncing ball first base side, right at Tuiasosopo. 1 out. Here's that AT&T trivia question again tonight. You had a chance to think about it. Name the 3 World Series MVPs when the A's won 3 consecutive titles in 72, 3, and 4. And here's the answer. 72 was Gene Tennis. 73, Reggie Jackson. 74, Raleigh Fingers. Those are the 3 MVPs for the A's. Some of the glory days in Oakland in the early 70s. Aspo the batter. 2 singles and 3 at bats in this game. Driven toward left center field. Jackson is on the move, and Austin runs it down. 2 outs. It's going to bring up Sogard. Sogard also has 2 hits, 2 RBIs tonight. Sogard, one of the few guys in the major leagues that wears glasses. Not too many do. He says that contacts just don't work for him. Here's the 0-1. He'll shoot that one back up the middle, but it's caught on a soft line right to Iglesias. And a 1-2-3 inning. Let's go to the stretch.
Scored 4 runs in that frame, and then they backed that up with 3 more in the very next half inning. So they have just had their hitting shoes on all night long against the Torrey Tigers, pitching 16 total hits for the swinging A's in this contest. And Brandon Moss, he's hit a couple of really long homers.
Well, it's been one of those series for the Tigers, and they are trailing big time in this one. And well, their leading home run hitter has just hit another one tonight, number 23 for Moss. Got a new pitcher now. It's a Wallside Windows pitching change. The oft-injured Brett Anderson, just off the disabled list today, is out on the mound.
And when he is healthy, and he's had a difficult time of staying healthy the last number of years, Tommy John surgery a few years ago. And this guy's a really good pitcher, though. Good stuff.
So Brett Anderson making just his second career relief appearance. Throws ball 1 to Jose Iglesias.
Brett Anderson's got a fastball that will touch 95. Good slider.
Anderson in the bullpen these days, as Bob Melvin has said, they really not had a chance to stretch him out, so he will pitch out of the bullpen, it appears, down the stretch for them. They're getting Bartolo Colon back. He'll start tomorrow. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jose Iglesias. Walking a ground out tonight for the Tigers shortstop.
You would think that once they're able to stretch out Anderson quite a bit, and he will get back into that starting rotation.
Well, he's always had a seemingly bright future. Really good stuff, but the injuries have just really kind of stalled him. He was on the 60-day disabled list when he was activated today. Here's the 1-2. Rolled foul. Anderson won 11 games back in 09. Made 30 starts that year. Hasn't approached that number since. Missed it low.
It's a pretty nice weapon for the Oakland Athletics to get back. Tail end of August.
Made only 6 starts last year. Tommy John surgery. Here's the 2-2. Pulled on the ground to short. 2 steps to his right. Lowry. And Iglesias almost beat it out. He gets down the line.
Torrey Hunter, he's had a great night tonight. It started against Straley. All 3 of his knocks. The first one, a fastball up in the zone. He whistled right back up the middle. Then he got a breaking ball from Straley in the 3rd inning. Solo shot to left field. Another fastball elevated in the 5th. Double the opposite way.
Here's Austin Jackson.
That's how you hit 300. You use all fields. Base it up the middle, homer to left, double to right.
On the ground to the shortstop, straight at Lowry. 2 up, 2 down. We'll bring up Torrey Hunter. Single, double, homer, triple for the cycle for Torrey. Tiger box score. See, Torrey's got 3 hits, but not really a whole lot going on. Martinez 2 more hits. Torrey's been a little bit better at home this year. .340 in the friendly confines of Comerica Park. Strike 1.
Torrey Hunter has never hit for the cycle.
0-2.
Which gives you an idea how hard it is to do. Torrey's been in the big leagues for 17 years.
Huh, that's true. Last Tiger cycle was 06. Carlos Guillen. Swing and a miss. He chased one up in the zone at 95. Not going to get it there. 1-2-3 for Brett Anderson. Verlander, who Ron was gracious with his money, he donated $1 million to a new program to support veterans and their families. And so the Tigers right-hander giving of his money today.
A very nice gesture by Justin Verlander. He, along with a lot of his teammates, are very generous with their time and money here in the community.
Wins for Warriors in conjunction with the Detroit Tigers Foundation. So way to go, JV, giving back. Here come the A's now as we go to the 8th. A strike called. And Kurt Suzuki, Ramon Santiago comes to the game now, and he is playing second base. So Cabrera, Infante, and Fielder are out of the game. There's another line drive to left center field. How about that? It's another hit. Jackson goes over to play it. Suzuki trying for 2, and he is in there with a stand-up double. That's his 3rd hit tonight. So the A's are apparently not content with a 10-1 lead. They're still swinging.
It's a changeup that's out and away from Suzuki. He's able to reach out, and he gets enough of it to hit it in the gap far enough that by the time Austin Jackson ran it down, Suzuki is getting into second base with a stand-up double.
Drew Smiley starting to heat up. Chris Young is batting. Strike called on Young. Chris will finish 0 for 4. Young pinch hitting. Ball down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. 14 home runs this year for Young. He's knocked in 45. Leadoff double by Suzuki. Tried to check it, could not do it. 1 and 2. Popped up right side of the infield. Tuiasosopo is under it, and Young is out. 1 gone. Fans, you can see the Tigers play the Seattle Mariners September 16th through the 19th. Take advantage of the weekday value pack. 4 upper box tickets, hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks for just $72. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com if you would like more information. Weekday value pack. 1 out now for Josh Donaldson. In the air to right field. Torrey going back, and it's over his head up against the wall. Suzuki coming in to score. That's a double the other way for Donaldson.
Donaldson really made some nice adjustments in the last 2 games here. First day, and this was on Monday, he was trying to pull everything, breaking balls, fastballs, but the last 2 days, he has taken exactly what the Tigers have given them, and that's base hits the other way.
That is a double, not a, or a single rather, not a double. Usually anything off the wall is a 2-base hit, but it came right back to Torrey.
Donaldson thought that ball was gone. He wasn't running out of the batter's box.
So that's going to be it for Alvarez. He's gone as far as he possibly can. Jim Leland will take the baseball. It's been all Oakland tonight. RBI hit by Donaldson makes it 11-1, and here comes Smiley. We'll be back.
last night for the Baltimore Orioles drove in 7 runs, couple home runs. Career high 7 runs, as a matter of fact, driven in for the Flying Hawaiian. The Tigers will see the Boston Red Sox next Monday in an afternoon game at Fenway Park.
Victorino, 7 RBIs and hit career homers 100 and 101. Soriano's still swinging the bat.
I don't know what happened to Jason Kubel. He was almost an all-star last year, his first year in a Diamondbacks uniform, but designated for assignment earlier today.
Jed Lowry facing Drew Smiley, the new Tigers pitcher.
Kubel, one of those guys that probably will not be unemployed very long. There's probably some teams out there who will take a flyer on the left-handed hitter.
51st game already for Smiley, who has pitched a lot out of the Tigers back end of the bullpen this year. 1 ball and 1 strike on Lowry. Single double RBI. Driven down the left field line. That's going to get down. It's another hit for the A's. Donaldson on his way to third. He will stop there. That is a double for Jed Lowry.
What'd you say was their season high in hits? 19?
Are they there? Yep, 19 is their high. There you go. They've equaled it. Against a really, really good Tigers pitching staff.
It's been a long time since we've seen 3 consecutive days where the opposing offense has kind of had its way against Tigers pitching.
June 3rd against Milwaukee, the other time they had 19 hits. Infield coming in. Tigers tonight have been out hit 19-8. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's fouled back out of play.
Moss hit a home run last night. This one went into the Oakland Athletics bullpen. It came against Justin Verlander. It was a 2-run homer, and then tonight got himself a breaking ball from Jose Alvarez and hit it out for the out-of-town scoreboard for another big fly.
23 home runs for Moss as he continues to add to his career high and will the rest of the season. With each home run, a single, a double, and a homer. Swing and a miss. 2-2 the count. 13 of the 19 hits tonight for the A's are singles. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a drive, hit high and deep into right field, and Moss is just going off right now.
Moss, stop it already.
A bomb to right field. That is a 3-run shot for Brandon Moss. Second home run in this game. A 6 RBI night. Here comes Leland. 14-1 Athletics.
It's a fastball that Drew Smiley tried to get in, and Moss was waiting for it.
So Smiley will pitch to 2 batters in this game, gives up a double and a homer. And the A's just pouring it on right now. Another pitching change. Tigers go back to the bullpen. Smiley is out of the contest. We'll be back.
has the #1 mobile app for live baseball, available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Tigers baseball. All you need to do is text at Bat to 31826. Well, the Tigers are now down 14-1 as Cespedes stands in. And he takes a strike call from Bonderman. How about Brandon Moss in this series? Is that pretty good or what?
That's a week's worth of work right there. 8 ribbies, 3 homers.
Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes.
16th game now that Jeremy Bonderman has been in, combined with Seattle and also the Tigers. 2-4 record of 441 earned run average. 1 more walk than strikeouts for Bonderman.
Here's the 0-2. Cespedes hits it foul on the ground.
It's a dangerous area right there to miss with a slider to a guy that has as much pop in his bat as Yoenis Cespedes.
Cespedes last night snapped an 0-for-15 slump. Tonight, 2 hits and an RBI. Fouled away. Well, the score may be lopsided tonight, but still, the youngsters can have a good time with a foul ball. How about that? The score doesn't seem to matter right now.
New. Dad, you're the best.
He might get another one. Pull down that third base line. Up. That guy got that one. Two 4-run innings in this game for the A's. Swing and a miss, and Cespedes is out of there.
A much better breaking ball here by Bonderman. This one disguised as a fastball up in the zone. Cespedes saw fastball in the hand of Bonderman when he started his swing, and the ball just kind of dipped underneath the head of the bat.
So with 2 outs, Nate Fryman will pinch hit for Derek Barton. He'll loop one foul back out of play. Fryman in the first game of the series had a pinch hit single, also walked a couple of times. Bonderman replacing Smiley, who replaced Alvarez. Starter tonight, Doug Fister went 5 innings. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Almost hit him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Fryman, despite his height, went to a basketball school. Duke University. Did not play basketball there, though. Waiting on a 1-2 pitch. He is 6'8", 250. Grounded foul.
Got a lot of power in that bat. He was making this ballpark look very small during batting practice today, along with his left fielder Yoenis Cespedes. They were putting on some kind of show.
One and 2. Bouncing in and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. What do you make of the rumor that Cespedes actually hit one over one of the cars out there in center field?
I believe it. I was watching him take some BP, and it was nothing for him to hit that Ivy out there straightaway center field. So I believe it if he hit one over that Chevrolet Fountain out there.
That would have been something to see.
Those balls he was hitting at the All-Star game this year when he won the home run hitting contest some of those would have traveled over that Chevrolet fountain.
He went around, and Bonderman gets a couple of strikeouts out of the bullpen. So we'll go to the bottom of the 8th here at the ballpark. All A's tonight as they add 4 more runs. Special edition Kids Day when the Tigers play the A's at 108. All kids 14 and under receive a free Miguel Cabrera superhero poster and are invited to run the bases after the game. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com for more details.
It's always nice for the kiddies after a day game, get on the field and run around the bases.
Seth Smith stays in the game to play left field, or enters the game. Apparently Shannon Hogan tomorrow is going to talk to some of the Tigers as Chris Young plays center field on who they would be if they were a superhero.
Really?
Yeah, so tune in for that. Who would you be if you were a superhero?
Probably let me think.
I'll let you think on that. I would be sitting on my couch guy.
I don't know. Probably somebody like Batman or somebody like that. Probably.
Yeah.
I used to like Green Hornet too.
Oh, he was good.
Yeah. Cato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelly hits one in the air to center. Young is under. 1 out. And so Anderson now is retired 4 straights. He's coming out of relief here.
Anderson looks awfully good. This might be a real nice weapon right here down the stretch for the Oakland Athletics once they're able to stretch Anderson out far enough, if that's what they want to do, to get him in a situation where he's starting some games. But even if they don't start him, I mean, this is a real nice piece coming out of the bullpen. 77 with the breaking ball, 95 with the fastball. He's got a changeup. He's got a curveball to go with it.
There's a strike called, and the count is 0-2 now on Matt Tuiasosopo.
Kurt Young, real good pitching coach. We told you earlier he spent 1 year in Boston with Terry Francona before Francona was fired in Boston a few years ago. But he had a home in Oakland because he had been so effective with the Oakland Athletics pitching staffs over the years.
Checked it high, and the count now is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Check it 2 balls, 2 strikes on Tuiasosopo. Victor Martinez waiting on deck. 14-1 Oakland. Rolled foul. 2-2 the count stays. Victor handing out a souvenir. Just a nice round of applause for that. Scherzer tomorrow as the Tigers will wrap up this series here. 4 games set with the Athletics, and then the Indians coming to town. We're going to see that Danny Salazar kid again. Here's a line drive to right, base hit. 1-out single for Matt. Here's the upcoming pitching matchup presented by the Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning, and tomorrow it's going to be Bartolo Colon and Max Scherzer.
Hey, one thing about both of these guys, both of them throw lots of strikes. And Bartolo Colon will throw quite a few fastballs, and they will be inside, outside, down at the knees if he's healthy. And apparently he's healthy, or he wouldn't be getting the ball tomorrow.
Scherzer trying to get to 20 wins tomorrow.
Max coming off that classic pitching matchup last Saturday in New York, where the New York Mets had Matt Harvey going to the mound for them.
It's off the glove of Fryman at first base. On to third goes Tuiasosopo.
Another 3-hit night for Victor Martinez.
That's 8 hits in this series for Victor.
His concentration right now is really good. It really doesn't matter which side of the plate that Victor is swinging the bat. He's barreling up everything, and his confidence level right now has to be at an all-time high. He was in about 200 when July started. Close to 300 now.
0-1 on Dirks. A couple of fly balls and a double play ball in this game. Right back up the middle into center, and Andy will drive in a run with a single to center field. 3rd straight hit for the Tigers. Fans have had really nothing to cheer about tonight. 14-2.
That's another fastball that's right down the middle. Andy Dirks was waiting for it against the left-hander. And good concentration, short, quick, compact swing.
Eleven Tigers hits now. Santiago pops it up. Third base side foul ground. Donaldson. So Ramon is retired on 1 pitch. Here's Avila. One for 3 tonight for Alex. A single back in the second. Ball 1. "20 hits tonight for the A's, 11 for the Tigers, and it's 14-2 Oakland. Fouled back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Amazing what Oakland's been able to do with men in scoring position tonight. 11 for 19. First of all, that they've had that many chances with men in scoring position, and they've come through 11 times. A 1-1 pitch. That's it for a strike. 1-2. A's have stranded just 4 runners in this game. There's Iglesias waiting on deck. Driven to center field on a line. Young will not get it off his glove. Score another run as Victor comes in. Dirks coming around as well. They send him home. Throw to the plate. Not in time. Two runs in. 14-4.
And Tigers have hit some balls right on the screws in this inning against Brett Anderson. That was a breaking ball that Young came in, could not make the catch. The ball trickles behind him, and that allowed Avila to get a double and also allowed him to drive in a couple.
RBIs 37 and 38 now for Alex. And Iglesias takes a strike.
Brett Anderson cruised through that 7th inning, his first inning of work this evening, but having a difficult time of getting through the Tigers' order here in the 8th inning.
Bounced foul, 0-2. He had retired 4 straight, then singles by Tuyas, Sissoko, Martinez, and Dirks. 2-run double Avila. Grounded foul again. 0-2 the count stays on Iglesias. A couple of ground balls tonight plus a walk. He has also stolen a bag. One and two. On the ground up the middle to his left, Lowry throws him out to end the inning. Tigers get a few back though. They scored 3 times and we go to the 9th. Tigers Live postgame coming up in a little bit. With a preview of that, here's Shannon Hogan.
Yes, Mario, as soon as the game ends, our coverage continues here on Fox Sports Detroit with Tigers Live. I'm going to be heading into the Tigers clubhouse to get reaction from Jim Leland. I'll also be talking with Doug Fister and hopefully a few other Tigers to get their reaction on today's game. Tigers Live right after this game here on Fox Sports Detroit. Back to you.
All right, Shannon, we look forward to it. In the meantime, here come the A's now as we go to the 9th. Callaspo leads it off. Sogard and then Suzuki. Jeremy Bonderman back out there. He came out in the 8th inning. And in fact, Jeremy struck out 2 batters to close down the inning. 14 runs, 20 hits tonight for the A's. The Tigers have 4 runs, 12 hits. A couple of singles in this game for Callaspo plus an RBI. That's it for a strike, 1-2. Couple of big innings tonight, actually quite a few big innings, but 2 4-run frames tonight for the Athletics. That'll get through Avila to the backstop. It goes 2-2 the count. Scherzer will try and stop the bleeding tomorrow. And on top of that, going for his 20th win. He is 19-1, and you would just never even know it.
He's handled it well.
Ground ball back up the middle into center field. The Athletics just won't stop hitting. Third hit tonight for Callaspo.
Yeah, some of the Oakland Athletics hitters have not had as much success in their careers as Callaspo has, but they've done a very nice job in this series.
To the tune of 28 runs on 40, count them, 40 hits. We still have one more game to go.
I guess if you're going to have a bad stretch, you want to have a bad stretch right now.
Plus, yesterday the game was called in the 6th, so it wasn't even really a 9-inning game.
And they didn't lose any ground yesterday because the Atlanta Braves took care of the Cleveland Indians.
Eric Sogard, the batter. 2 singles, 2 RBIs for Sogard. Sends this one in the air to center. There's Jackson moving back. 1 out. 77-55 are the Tigers. A 5.5 game lead. Entering play tonight.
Atlanta and Cleveland, they're tied in their ball game in the 8th inning, 2-2.
Number 9 hitter Kurt Suzuki. 2 singles and a double. Down the middle it comes. A strike called, 0-1. .364 now for Suzuki. Lifted back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Kurt hit .254 in 6 seasons with the A's before he was traded to the Nationals last year, and he's gained quite a few games in the standings in the trade that brought him back to Oakland.
They've always loved his catching ability. He can really handle staff, call a really good game.
The 0-2. A's tonight with a pair of 3-run innings and a pair of 4-run innings, and they lead 14-4. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Another block, but it's going to get by Avila this time to the left, and that'll move the runner up. Callaspo goes to second base. Wild pitch. Ground ball to third. Don Kelly has it there. Suzuki is out. 2 away with the runner holding at second base. Back up to the top of the order now. Young will step in. He's only at bat in the 8th inning in a pinch hitting role. He popped up. This is the guy that had quite a few really big innings, big games and big seasons with Arizona early on in his career. Hit 32 home runs one year. Hit a lot of home runs with the Diamondbacks.
He can play some center field too.
A's gave up Cliff Pennington to get him. High fly ball. Center field. Jackson under it. And we are headed to the bottom of the ninth inning with the Athletics up 14-4.
In the game, it is Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite and Brandon Moss. Boy, what a series he has had. 3 homers, 1 the opposite way and 2 to the pull field. And 2 of the 3 on breaking balls. And Tigers able to throw fastballs right by Moss, but then they hanging breaking balls, and then he plays long ball. He's had a week, not a 3-game series. 8 ribbies in the 3 days.
Here come the Tigers now as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Moss in this game with 4 hits and 6 RBIs, 2 home runs. He has 24 homers this year. Foul tip into the glove, and the count is 0-2 now on Jackson.
And Brett Anderson trying to do something that he has never ever done in the big leagues, and that's get a save. If he's able to complete this inning, he'll get a save.
The 0-2 is a ball high, 1 ball 2 strikes.
He came in on the 7th, so it would be the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th. And for Brett Anderson.
Bouncing ball, left side of the infield. Long off balance throw, and got him at first base. Nice play by Lowry.
Oakland doing everything right here today.
Nice play by Fryman as well down at first to dig it up. 1 gone.
I told you Lowry doesn't have a great throwing arm, but what he does do, he gets rid of the ball quickly enough to get it across the diamond. And we told you that Fryman, he's 6'8", so he can stretch out quite a ways to get that ball in his glove before the left foot of Jackson hit the bag.
Torrey looks at a ball low. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Chopper right back in the mound. Anderson climbing the ladder. 2 gone. He didn't lob that thing, man. He just let it go. Well, he's got 1 more out to get. And the Tigers try and regroup tomorrow. At least get 1 game in this series. A's rolled to town and brought out the big bats.
Yeah, A's tomorrow will be playing with house money. They've already won the series, and they'll be loose tomorrow against Max. Max is a great pitcher looking for win number 20. But you want to see a loose team tomorrow afternoon? This Oakland team is going to be loose. And loose teams are dangerous.
Don Kelly with 2 outs. One ball, 1 strike. Melvin's team had been struggling compared to what they had done in the first half since the All-Star break, but they've put a good showing on here in this series so far. These two teams met in the ALDS last year. Here's the 2-1. Little looper to left. That's going to drop. Base hit. 2-out single for Don Kelly. Keep it going for Tuiasosopo.
Some of you wondering why Brett Anderson would get a save here tonight with the score being so lopsided is the fact that he will pitch the final 3 innings of this game. That would qualify him for a save.
Ball 1 to Tuiasosopo, who singled, scored a run back in the 8th. Tigers tonight have given up 21 hits. They've had 13 of their own. That'll bounce in and blocked there by Suzuki. 2-0 the count. .50 pitches now for Brett Anderson.
At this rate, he's going to be stretched out real quick.
It's almost a game. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss. 2-1.
5 days from now, he may be their starting pitcher.
Here's the 2-1. 2-2. Well, as you say, whatever role they use him in, he's going to be a pretty good weapon down the stretch.
No doubt.
There's Victor waiting on deck. They are still chasing Texas out in the West. 2-2 is fouled off. And Matt just staying alive there with an emergency hack. Texas beating Seattle already. 3-2. Anderson trying to close this one out for the Athletics. Here's the 3-2. Down the right field line, back out of play. Bouncing ball to short should do it. Lowry has it, and the ball game is over. In the 9th inning, no runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. The A's have won the first 3 games in this series convincingly tonight. 14-4 the final score.